Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we are looking at another ridiculously exciting new supporter card from the upcoming Sun and Moon 5 Plus expansion in Japan. Probably, although not guaranteed, coming in our Sun and Moon 6 set in the UK, US, Europe, etc., which will be part of our May set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Crash Awake, and it carries on this recent tradition of releasing Diamond and Pearl Sinnoh cards in the Pokemon trading card game. He is the water gym leader from Diamond and Pearl, although it was mostly Sun and Moon 5 in Japan that was introducing these Sinnoh cards. This is Sun and Moon 5 Plus, but apparently Sinnoh is alive and well. And please don't think me overly positive, as we looked at two new cards yesterday, both of which I suggested were pretty gosh darn good, but I am a big fan of this card as well. It's only for water decks, but for water decks, it's great. What you have to do is discard 2 water energies from your hand, and then search your deck for any 2 cards and put them into your hand. Yeah. That's pretty gosh darn good. Now remember, of course, that when we say water energy, stuff like rainbow energy and counter energy only count as water energy when they're attached. It's got to be basic water. But you're searching your deck here for any 2 cards. That is amazing. Back in the day, we had twins. Twins saw a huge amount of play, and this allowed you to search your deck for any 2 cards if you were behind on prizes. So people would play decks, Vileplume decks love this, that deliberately went behind on prizes so that you could go and search for any 2 cards, and it would often be rare candy and a stage 2. Then twins went away and we got teammates, although more than once on official streams I accidentally called teammates twins. Don't look it up, let's just try and lose that footage forever. Teammates was a similar kind of card. It allowed you to search for any 2 cards, as long as one of your Pokemon was knocked out during your opponent's last turn. That saw an awful lot of play, and it's still legal and expanded, and it still sees a huge amount of play. If you want a less powerful but more adaptive version of the card, how about Computer Search? Now, Computer Search only allows you to search for 1 card, but it's just discard 2 cards from your hand, search for any card. You don't need to be behind on prizes or have had a Pokemon KO'd the previous turn. And this is still possibly the best card in Expanded. And all this goes to say that searching for any cards is absolutely phenomenally, monumentally good. Although searching for 2 cards is so much better than searching for 1 because of that rare candy stage 2 combination, which is frankly ridiculous. And okay, you can only do this when you discard 2 water energy from your hand, but as I'm going to say in basically every supporter card video we're going to do from now until it's rotated, how about Tapu Lele? And I know we give props to Tapu Lele very often, but again here, if you've got the water energy in your hand to discard to search for 2 cards, in comes Tapu Lele. In comes Wake. Whereas if you're not in a position where you've got those 2 water energy, then you don't use Wake, you don't search. As a side note, Crash Awake is his actual name in the game, sometimes shortened to Wake, but if you look at the length of the name of the card here, the card is clearly called Wake and not Crash Awake. Now, quite frankly here, I'm thinking of the new Empoleon. I have not been shy about my love for Empoleon from the upcoming Ultra Prism expansion. I think Empoleon is going to be phenomenal. For 2 water energy, it does, or water and a colourless, 20 damage for every Pokemon on each player's bench. That's going to add up very quickly. I am a huge fan of Empoleon. Well, in an Empoleon deck, this is amazing. For a long time, we've been using Skylar to search for a rare candy so that we can get a stage 2. Well, Wake here allows us to search for the rare candy and the Empoleon and get it going. Or if you've got the Empoleon, you can grab a rare candy and then something like a counter energy to attach to that Empoleon to get it going in one turn. Or maybe you play this in a Glaceon deck. Again, I'm a huge fan of Glaceon. The attack is just Darkrai's Night Spear, but the ability here says that when it's in the active, your opponent does not get any abilities on EX or GX Pokemon, which means it turns off Tapu Lele, and with the Energy Evolution Eevee, you then get to do this on the first turn of the game, so your opponent is locked out of Tapu Lele turn 1. But of course you need to get that Eevee in the active. Maybe you need to grab an Eevee and a Floatstone to get your current active out of the active. Well, you can grab both of them with Wake. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot overstate how good searching your deck for any 2 cards is. Yes, I know it's only in a water deck, and I know you've got to discard 2 water energy, but seriously, Teammates wasn't the easiest card to use, and that saw a huge amount of play. Twins wasn't the easiest card to use, and that saw a huge amount of play, and Computer Search forces you to discard cards and only searches for 1, and it's probably the best card in Expanded. And here's the thing, this whole having to discard water energy might not even be that bad. Now, as a side note, if you're really relying on Wake, might I suggest Professor's Letter, that allows you to search for any 2 basic energy from your deck, so you can discard them, or even, and I know I mentioned this in a video recently, but maybe Rabombi could be good here. Rabombi is a Professor's Letter as an ability. Or it has Professor's Letter as an ability. So what you do here is you search for your 2 water energy, discard them with Wake, search for any 2 cards. And then you can always use a card like, I don't know, Brock's Grit, for instance, or Energy Recycler, to get those energy back in your deck to do it over and over again. And you might be thinking, well, discarding these water energy, that sounds annoying. It might not actually be that annoying, because if you're going to discard basic energy, the absolute best way to do this, the number 1 type of basic energy you would want to discard is water energy, because you've got Aqua Patch, and Aqua Patch is phenomenal. Aqua Patch is an item card that allows you to attach water energy from your discard to one of your benched water Pokemon. So some games here, this is going to be a frankly ridiculous combination. You use Wake to discard 2 water energy from your hand, search for any 2 cards, well, one of those cards might be an Aqua Patch to attach one of those energies that you've just discarded to one of your benched water Pokemon. I think Empoleon is going to be a really good card. I think Glaceon is going to be a really good card. In those decks, Wake is an absolute no-brainer because you need to get rolling. And I know you've got to discard the energy, but Aqua Patch here really helps you out. As a fun side note, Abomasnow has a very similar ability to Aqua Patch, although it can attach to any Pokemon. It doesn't have to be a water, and it doesn't have to be on the bench. It can attach to an active non-water Pokemon. I don't think anyone's going to be playing Abomasnow. If I'm playing Wake and I'm using a Stage 1 support Pokemon, I'm going Rabombi all day long, but Abomasnow is at least an option here. And water decks aren't exactly sad and looking for help right now. Brooklet Hill is a phenomenal stadium that allows you to search for a basic water or fighting Pokemon and pop it straight onto your bench. Then you've got Aqua Patch. I think Wake here is an almost over-the-top good card. Yesterday we talked about Ultra Recon Squad and I said, look, it ain't good outside of an Ultra Beast deck, but in an Ultra Beast deck it could be really good. By the way, all of these cards like Ultra Recon Squad, Abomasnow, Empoleon, Glaceon, etc. that I'm talking about, I'll put links to the videos I did on those cards in the description so you can go and learn more about them at your leisure. This is a card which is only good for water decks. If you're not playing several basic water energy, then it's not going to be good. And at the moment, water decks are not crushing. We see a bit of play for Greninja, but firstly, it's not that great anymore, and secondly, it doesn't play that much energy. And Alolan Ninetales has seen a little bit of play, but it's really fallen out of favour. But when Ultra Prism comes around, I think Empoleon's going to be great. I think Glaceon is going to be great. And I think in those decks, Wake is going to be a phenomenal supporter, which is going to see a huge amount of play. As I've said a couple of times in this video, cards that search for any card have always seen a lot of play. Then you add in the fact that we've got Empoleon, which is an upcoming stage 2 that we're going to need some help with consistency. Then you build in the fact that we have got ways to search out 2 basic energy at the moment. Then you build in the fact that actually Aqua Patch makes the discarding the water energy potentially an advantage, because you need to get 4 water energy in a discard to use 4 Aqua Patch anyway. I don't know if it's just the Christmas spirit hanging on. I don't know if I'm too excited about the new year, but I am again giving this card 5 Wassies, because I am a man who is going to play Empoleon when Ultra Prism comes out. That is going to be my pet deck. And I tell you what, I am looking at this right now and going, yeah, I'm playing 2 or 3 of this in my Empoleon deck. I look at this as a card which is going to make my Empoleon deck better. I think this is a card that will see a lot of play in any dedicated water deck. And as far as I'm concerned, any card that will see a lot of play has got to be a 5 Wassie card. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been incredibly positive. Maybe you guys are feeling less positive about this card. If only there was a comment section where you could argue with me. Oh no, wait! There totally is. Get your arguments down there, ladies and gentlemen. Go nuts! Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. We are going to be doing a live stream at 1 PM UK time tomorrow, that Sunday. Make sure you come along and join in. It's going to be great. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and so on, you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far, the most important thing as always is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.